Okay, guys, we're back with another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest. I'm Seth from the Only Stunner podcast, and this episode we're going to be looking at a fighter that's returned to boxing. That's Sergey Kovalev. Now, I was just looking through some articles on boxing on my phone, and I see that Sergey Kovalev's fighting this Friday, and it's available to watch for free on Boxing News YouTube channel. Right now, Sergey Kovalev, as we all know, is a absolute legend of light heavyweight boxing, a multiple-time world champion, and this looks like this is going to be his last fight, and it's going to be against Artur Man, a fighter who's got a record of I think 22-4 against Kovalev's 35-5. Obviously, Kovalev 35 wins, 29 knockouts. In his prime, Kovalev was a monstrous puncher at light heavyweight and one of my favourite light heavyweight boxers in this modern era. Of course, throughout his career, he's had a couple of losses, and this isn't going to be a super in-depth analysis of all his losses. Obviously, his first ever loss came against Andre Ward, and then rematched Andre Ward and lost again. Was the first fight being very, very competitive and very close, and then the second fight, Andre Ward TKO'd him. But after that, Sergey Kovalev would continue to fight. He would then lose to Elida Alvarez in the seventh round TKO, where he lost his WBO and IBA light heavyweight titles. He then rematched Elida Alvarez, beat him, then beat Anthony Yard, which was a very impressive victory because Anthony Yard is no scrub. Anthony Yard had Kovalev going, had him going, had him rocked. Anthony Yard was not far away from winning that fight. Anthony Yard is a hell of a boxer, so Kovalev at that point in his career, being able to take those punches from a young and hungry Yard, take those punches and then come back and finish Anthony Yard was a real accomplishment to see that at that point in Sergey Kovalev's career. He would then go on in his next fight to lose to Canelo Alvarez in a knockout in the 11th round in a fight that he performs very well in, might I say. Kovalev boxed very well in that fight. It was only up until that point, the 11th round, when Canelo finished him, that, if that fight was to continue and the 11th round finished and the 12th round finished, Kovalev probably would have won that fight. He was outboxing Canelo, and like we've seen throughout Canelo's career, the only people that beat Canelo are guys that are seriously, seriously talented. Seriously talented. And Kovalev is up there with the most talented guys Canelo's faced. But in the end, it didn't quite work out for Kovalev, and Canelo stopped him. He then fought a guy called Tervel Pulev, and this was 3 years ago. And then 2 years after that, he would lose a unanimous decision to someone called Robin Sowan Safar. This guy's not even got a Wikipedia page, so he must be a real scrub. But to be fair, if you're beating Kovalev, you've clearly got something about you. Now Kovalev's coming back for one last fight, and it's this Friday. I don't know how. I didn't hear about this more on why there's not more of the boxing sort of media talking about this fight. I guess Kovalev at this point, he's not fighting for world titles. He's a bit out of the... he's not in any top rankings. He's not, due for a world title shot or anything. I think that last loss probably was, to everyone, the nail in his coffins for his career. Kovalev's 42 and he's looking to, this wants to be it for him. I think this is going to be his last fight. It's in his hometown. No glitz, no empty ceremony. It's just one more fight before the, lights go out. Kovalev knows what he's fighting for. Just because it's not a world title fight does not mean I don't think Kovalev is training any less hard for this, right? I think Kovalev knows that if he wants to go out at somewhat of a respected level, this is what it's going to be. It's going to be a fight for Kovalev's legacy. Now, of course, this isn't a super, super high-level guy that Kovalev's facing now. It's not like he's facing, an Anthony Yard again or... whoever. To be fair, a rematch between those two wouldn't be too bad, actually. I think you rematch Kovalev v Yard in Russia again. I think, to be fair, it's the type of fight that neither of them would take without a world title on the line, right? But yeah, Kovalev's coming back, and for one last fight, they want to showcase his legendary career, and I, for one, as a Kovalev fan, I'm here for it. So yeah, another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.